the largest shark that ever lived. For 20 million years, it ruled the ocean, then it vanished. And the reason why is stranger than you'd expect. I'm Lost Creatures, where we dig up what deep time buried. Let's start honestly, we have never found a complete Megalodon skeleton. Sharks are built mostly from cartilage, which doesn't fossilize the way bone does. So the whole body, from here on, is a reconstruction, and we'll treat it that way. What we do have is teeth. And a handful of vertebrae. Almost everything we know is reverse engineered from them. And there are a lot of teeth. A shark sheds and regrows teeth its entire life, and over 20 million years, Megalodon left behind so many that teeth are, by far, its most common fossil. That's how we knew this animal long before we understood it. And what teeth, over 18 centimeters, about the size of a human hand. Look closely at the edge and you'll find rows of fine serrations, like a steak knife, a tooth built not to grip, but to shear through flesh and bone. Those few vertebrae matter more than they look, too. Some preserve growth bands, like tree rings, and where they survive, researchers can use them, cautiously, to estimate how fast Megalodon grew, and how long it may have lived. A single tooth says more than big. It tells us what this animal ate, and how. We found its bite marks, deep gouges, on the fossilized bones of ancient whales. Some of those wounds are healed over, the whale got away. Others aren't. So how big was it? Here the honest answer isn't a single number, it's a range. The method, in living relatives, like the great white and other lamnate sharks, tooth size tracks body length. Apply that relationship to these giant fossil teeth, and most estimates land at 15 to 18 meters, possibly longer. It's an honest method, but an imperfect one. It assumes Megalodon was shaped like its living cousins, and it may not have been. Some newer work, modeling the width of the body instead of just the teeth, pushes the upper end further, toward 20 meters or more. We'll stay conservative, and say 15 to 18, possibly longer. Line it up. A great white tops out around 6 meters. Megalodon was roughly 2.5 to 3 times that. A human diver barely registers. Its bite may have been among the most formidable ever. Estimated models suggest a force powerful enough, in theory, to crush heavy bone. That's several times the bite of anything alive today. But remember, that's a model, not a measurement. We're rebuilding a giant from its teeth. So we give you a range, not a single dramatic figure. For 20 million years, this was the top predator of warm, shallow seas that fringed the world's coastlines. And here's something remarkable we can actually test. How could anyone know the body temperature of an animal that died millions of years ago? The answer is locked in the chemistry of its teeth. The balance of certain isotopes in tooth enamel depends on the temperature at which it formed, and in 2023, researchers reading that signal found that Megalodon ran warmer than the water around it. A form of regional endothermy. Not the full warm-bloodedness of a mammal, but likely enough to support speed, sustained activity, and a wider range. That may have been a strength. Strengths come with a bill, though. A body kept warmer likely carries a higher metabolic cost, more fuel, more often. Its young appear to have grown up in warm coastal nurseries, sheltered shallows where a newborn, already over 3 meters long, could feed and grow away from the open sea. And these weren't random shallows. At several fossil sites the teeth skew small, the telltale sign of a nursery, a place where the young clustered, grew, and stayed. For 20 million years, that system warm seas, big appetite, safe shallows worked. Until the world it was built for began to change. Around 3.5 million years ago, the fossil record falls silent. No more giant teeth. No more bite marks. The largest predatory shark the planet ever produced gone. And that date isn't a guess. It comes from the layers of rock themselves, the youngest confirmed Megalodon teeth sit in sediments around 3.5 million years old, and above them, nothing. For a long time, the assumption was that the answer had to be dramatic, something even bigger must have killed it, or a single catastrophe. But the leading explanation is stranger and much quieter. Megalodon's decline lines up with a planet turning cold. As the Pliocene wore on, ice locked up more and more of the world's water at the poles. Sea levels dropped. And when the sea pulls back, it's the shallow, sun-warmed shelves, the coastal water tied to Megalodon's nurseries and hunting grounds, that vanish first. The warm coastlines that made its whole way of life possible began to shrink. Shrinking coastlines meant shrinking nurseries, the safe shallows where its young grew up were draining away. And a large, warm-bodied, hungry animal in a cooling ocean carries a metabolic cost it may no longer be able to meet. None of that, alone, ends the largest shark on Earth. The problem is that none of it happened alone. From here, we're talking about suspects, not verdicts. Suspect 1, the prey. As the oceans cooled, the whales Megalodon hunted shifted toward colder, richer waters, following the food, and pulling it away from the giant. Suspect 2, a new competitor. Around 5 million years ago, a smaller, nimbler hunter shows up in the same waters, after some of the same young prey, the great white shark. And this isn't just about timing. The chemistry again, isotopes locked in the teeth of Megalodon and early great whites, found in the same waters, sit at similar levels, consistent with overlapping diets, and with competition for at least some of the same prey. Young Megalodons may now have shared a table with a smaller, faster rival. Suspect 3, and this one is weaker, more speculative, other large marine predators were emerging in this period, some of them possibly group hunters. And if any of them hunted in coordinated groups, a lone giant, however powerful, might have had no easy answer. We want to be clear, this rests on far thinner evidence than the others, and plenty of researchers would leave it off the list entirely. We flag it as a possibility, not a conclusion. Layer the suspects together and a leading hypothesis appears. Whatever ended the Megalodon probably wasn't bigger than it. It was smaller, smarter, and it didn't come alone. Not one disaster, a trap that seems to have closed from several sides at once, cooling seas, vanishing nurseries, fleeing prey, and rivals that were everything it wasn't: small, fast, and many. Here's the part that stays with me. Under the leading explanation, Megalodon wasn't beaten by a bigger monster. It was worn down by change, slow, patient, planet-wide change that likely turned its strengths, one by one, into liabilities: its size, its appetite, its dependence on warm shallow seas. And part of that story is still swimming today. The great white you know from the movies is a smaller, cold water echo of the world Megalodon once ruled, not its descendant, but a survivor of the very changes that pressured the giant. Even the most formidable predator of its age can be pushed out of its own world. Not with a bang, with a slow, quiet squeeze. This is Lost Creatures, where we dig up what deep time buried. Next time, we go back to a warmer ocean and meet another giant before it fell.